Hello everybody out there, Chris and Mike here, and welcome back to another Dark Avenger Comic Book review. And guys, it's a bit late this week, it's been crazy. We are going to be playing Super Catch Up this week, so our reviews on Comic Frontline actually are going on a week off until this week's books come out, which actually ironically will be tomorrow. We're going to skip these books and we're going to go right into next week's book so we can play a little bit of catch up on this channel. You guys will see soon enough. The books that we're reviewing in this review, though, came out the week of
October 29, 2014, the last week of October.
And with this episode, we are at 241, which means only 39 more weeks to go. Wait, no, 39 more weeks to go, 261.
Very good. It's late.
Very late. So let's not waste any more time. First book is Godhead continuation. Sinestro issue number 6. Now, I'm not enjoying Godhead. I can absolutely promise you guys that. I don't like the mischaracterization of the new gods. And I'm very happy with DC's announcement of Convergence, whatever that is. We know it's going to involve some type of a combination. It's going to happen in 2 months. And we'll see if something comes of that. But anyway, till then, we're still in the new 52. So, in this issue, the one thing I did like, though, was Sinestro was very much in character, as well as the Sinestro Corps, as well as Kilowog. Not Kilowog, Arkillo. Sinestro is infatuated with the woman who stole his ring back in the Green Lantern the Green Lantern Godhead annual one-shot.
Right.
That started this whole thing. And he's enamored with trying to find her and having a meeting with her, so to speak. Lisa Dark actually has her moment of prophecy, so to speak, where she sees everything that's going to be going on.
Splash page, right?
Really nice splash page. And one thing I did like was Sinestro gave Arkillo back his own Sinestro Corps ring, and Arkillo, just like that, is now following Sinestro's lead all over again. And it turns out the new gods are attacking the Indigo tribe, so he sends the Sinestro Corps to save the Indigo tribe. Why does he do that? Because basically the Indigo tribe are a valuable core because they can teleport across galaxies, and the Green Lanterns are already there trying to assist them. It doesn't work. The rest of the book is an awesome fight between the Sinestro Corps and the new gods. Sinestro pulls a dirty one. This is classic Sinestro by the end of this book. And let's just say that whatever her name is, the woman that Sinestro was interested in, swears to get revenge on him after what he did at the end of this book. So it's good to see that Sinestro is at least characterized the right way in this book. Godhead is a very stressful story arc, but it's going through all the Lantern books right now, guys, and I'm reading all the Lantern books -1, so it's not like I'm spending any extra money except for, of course, the one-shot and Green Lantern New Guardians, and I'm not getting Infinity Man because it's just a tie-in, so...
Alright, Justice League United Annual issue number 1. The Legion of Superheroes, the new 52 Legion of Superheroes, are in this book, since they were in the last issue of Justice League United. And they just wanted to attack the child that John Jones has, or Martian Manhunter actually, because the Legion of Superhero will die. And love this splash page over here, where John Jones disagrees and wants to fight off with the leader of Legion of Superheroes.
That's Mon-El.
Yeah, Mon-El. So, it's a whole thing where Adam Strange and Equinox keep switching places, and we find out more about that, as well as Owlman, Stargirl, Supergirl, and Green Arrow are looking for Hawkman because, ironically, in this issue, when they find Hawkman, he is actually alive, which means he did not really die. And then they keep going back also to Legion of Superheroes also with that, of who they are and yada 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 yada, how they became to be. And then they talk about why they need to kill the child, and you know, and they could already predict what could happen in the future, and they're trying to prevent that from happening. So, I'm trying to find out. Yeah, here's Hawkman, by the way, which they found in the issue. Bith makes an appearance also back in this issue, which is a something else actually, and it's just an all-out fight between both sides of the perspectives, as well as everything else that happens. But it is just all-out crazy, including the end where I'm not gonna tell you what's gonna happen there. Begins with the letter I. Gonna really look forward to reading the next issue of Justice League United, which isn't gonna be an annual, it's just gonna be regular. So, oh boy, that's really interesting.
Alright, we're now in the weeklies, and guys, this is a very, very weak week for DC Comics in my opinion, and obviously because it's the 5th week of the month, it's really the annuals, which I didn't get any this time. It was mostly you. They didn't even make a
I didn't get Justice League Dark.
I'm actually
annual.
surprised they did not have a Smallville annual this time around, and then the 3 weeklies, there's only one strong one. With Batman Eternal issue 30, the most important fact in this book is what happens to Arkham Asylum, and obviously at the end of the book it says to read Arkham Manor, because we already knew that Arkham Asylum was going to fall, and it does. Right on top of Batwing. The Spectre does make an appearance in this book.
Oh no.
Batwing is trapped under the rubble of Arkham Asylum, and basically it's all part of an elaborate piece of a gigantic puzzle, so to speak, or it's just the beginning of what's his name's plans? Red Hood's plans.
Yeah.
And Batman comes face to face with somebody by the end of the issue. That is a very short version of it. It was an interesting issue, but again, it falls short. I don't know. It was a very issue, to be honest. Again, this is the weekly series that's going to make it all the way to 52 issues, and I don't know, guys. It was an okay issue. I'm hoping in the weeks to come that things build up. I'm waiting for them to leave. Well, Arkham Asylum is gone now, so probably by after the next issue, things will be back to focusing on Gotham and everything else. Future's End issue number 26. Again, it's all over the place and back again. Jason gets kicked out of the laboratory by the Doctor. The Doctor no longer wants to be bothered with Jason because he found out he's Firestorm. Mr. Terrific confronts Bruce Wayne, thinking Bruce Wayne's involved in the break-ins, and that's where Bruce Wayne actually calls Ronnie and Jason into a meeting. Terry from the future wants to enlist Tim Drake to help him and Plastique put an end to Brother Eye. Tim's girlfriend gets captured by the scientist because he thinks she's involved with the Justice League too. It's a lot of stuff going on. You got 50 Sue. We get a little bit of background on 50 Sue and her interaction with Brother Eye a bit more. I'm leaving that part out on purpose. You got Batman telling both partners who make Firestorm, Jason and Ronnie, to grow up and stop being a whiny bitch, basically. And he basically tells them, you do know that Green Arrow's alive. He basically just used you as a means to pull his illusion off. And that's where it's kind of like, now you see them looking at each other going, he didn't die because of us. Yeah. So, I like Batman. The whole point of this issue, the thing that stuck out to me the most was Batman basically telling Ronnie and Jason to stop being a whiny bitch. Grow up. The world needs Firestorm now more than ever. So, get your head in the game. World's End issue 4, however, I enjoyed a lot more. This one is the series that just keeps giving. We don't get too much in Atlantis here. We have the return of 2 characters. We have the return of Desaad, and we have the return of Solomon Grundy. And actually, next issue is going to focus a lot on Solomon Grundy. We find out Mother Box picked Jimmy, but for what destiny, we don't know yet. But apparently Jimmy has some type of a schematic on his video. I don't know if he's actually going to be...
So he has like a superpower now?
I don't know if he's part of the New God somehow. But Mother Box actually purifies everyone except for... Let's see. Forgot her. Fury. It cures everybody except Fury, and Mr. Miracle actually goes into her mind to unlock all the mysteries of Fury, and that was very interesting also. I won't tell you guys what they see in there, but the Dick Grayson, Barbara Gordon, or the Graysons, because they're married, the development there is really good as well.
Ooh.
Like I said, I'm not going to go into Fury's mind. And then you have the return, like I said, of Desaad and Solomon Grande, which was awesome. Desaad is facing off against Superman, Batman, Huntress, Power Girl, and Red Tornado, while Solomon Grundy is dealing with Green Lantern. Awesome stuff. Really, really good. I'm enjoying this series a lot. And that's it for DC. A very short week for DC. Marvel had a couple of more books, actually.
Logan Legacy.
I gave up on that book.
Issue number 3. I'm gonna probably give up on this also. Like, I'm gonna say this right here, right now. In my opinion, the artwork looked really good. Like, not as an excellent or bad, just good. And it starts off with Arden, where it's just really Sabretooth killing Wolverine again, with, you know, just him putting on their suits and just killing Wolverine over and over because
he's
he
taking
didn't
people. Yeah, he didn't kill the real Wolverine, so he's faking he's putting other people in his place.
Artwork. So it really focuses more on Sabretooth and about Logan, and saying that you know, it was me that was supposed to kill him, and he goes crazy and everything. And to be honest, I was really bored by the story. I was just... I'm even looking at it again now, and then the whole thing where he's in this war and everything, and now he's trying to do all this re-healing with him getting burned and everything, and he says that he can do better than Logan. Yeah, Blades X strikes the next one. No.
I figured you would be done.
I'm done. I can't continue. After reading that, I can't. No more. So, Logan Legacy is just not my book.
Really quickly, I'm not going to get into all the stories in this book because this is a very thick book, but we all know that Marvel turned 75 this year, so Marvel released the 75th Anniversary Celebration $5.99 book. There is an omnibus that collects all of the greatest tales of Marvel. It's about $100. Good luck, I'm not getting that book. This is a more condensed book with lots of different stories, lots of little not pinups, but page art, like cover art and stuff. There's a lot of artists, a lot of writers, and it's all to celebrate the 75 years of Marvel. The first story involves all the appearances, like Spider-Man and Fantastic Four.
What's ironic is 75 years of Batman also, so that's something else also.
And then here's some pinups here, like got Civil War and stuff like that. I like Squirrel Girl #1.
Oh, and is that Rocket Raccoon?
Yeah, she's marrying Rocket Raccoon.
Oh my god.
Good stuff, and there's a lot of little throw-ins here, there, and everywhere. I like the Spider-Man story in here. The throw-in covers, the Wolverine story at the end of the book was really nice. The memoriam for all the artists and writers who passed on, really awesome as well. It was just a really good book. I really liked it. Well worth the $5.99 in my opinion. Because it's celebrating 75 years of Marvel. Marvel is really, you know, it's been around for a very long time. DC celebrated their 75th anniversary right before the New 52, I believe. So the only other company that's older than Marvel is DC. And a really good book. I would definitely recommend you guys check it out.
And this was a shocker when I saw this in capital letters. Thunderbolts issue number 32, Punch vs. Thunderbolts finale, the final issue. The final issue. Can you believe that? Because I sure can. Final issue. In this issue, it's just... the Red Leader is the only survivor throughout the whole Thunderbolts. And then afterwards, after all this, show you some artwork. Just for an example of that, which was really good artwork. It's just him just saying that he has all these strategies of... you know, how he could have killed the Thunderbolts, and they do come back with Iron Man and the other Avengers. I think the Uncanny Avengers, I'm not too sure, but basically Iron Man's team, and Hulk and Punch have a talk about the past and everything, about how he was trying to kill him and everything. They're just fighting off one last time against all these Avenger-like people, but they're not. They're like these guys, like clones of them, but they look very oddly shaped and all that. And I mean, I could tell why this is the final issue because the story really didn't hold me as well as I thought it did. But that's basically it. They just go to separate way, and where Ross thought that he could have a team together, but apparently that's not the case. But after the end of Thunderbolts, there was Mephisto, who actually has a talk with Samuel Stearns, and let's just say Johnny Blaze is once again Ghost Rider. And I don't know if this means there's going to be a return of a certain series, or if it's going to be something that's like Thunderbolts, but all I can say is, glad it's the last issue, so goodbye Thunderbolts. Pretty good, I guess, but that's really the short I can give of the whole book.
Original Sin's been over for a while, and I'm glad finally this is the last issue connected to Original Sin. Guardians of the Galaxy issue number 20. I'm glad because after this we go into an original story from Guardians of the Galaxy. This just continues Peter, Drax, and Nova stuck in an alternate universe against an evil version of the Avengers and Thanos and trying to find their way home. Of course, Gamora doesn't believe a word Star-Lord's saying. She actually tries to leave until Drax actually says, you know, it's true, yada yada. She sits down and listens to the entire story. I'm not going to give the entire story, but basically, long story short, Nova sacrifices himself to save Peter and Drax, and they go back. Nova doesn't. Actually, Thanos as well goes back. Well, he takes Thanos with him, so to speak, and he tries to take Thanos with him. Thanos actually stays behind, as well as Drax and Peter. Thanos leaves. Peter swears to get revenge on Thanos, and he takes Drax with him. This is obviously before Drax got all the tattoos because he was at that time. And Gamora takes it and she walks away. Nobody knows if she wants to stay or not, but it turns out she's just very, very upset about Nova's...
I like the next issue.
How Nova died. This was really, again, it's one of those issues where it's like, okay, we're delving into a sin, an original sin, and it involves Peter and Drax and Thanos surviving, whereas Nova died. Next we get the Planet of the Symbiotes, and that I'm looking forward to with Venom and everything. That's going to be really cool. I can't wait to read that. This was okay. I'm just hoping Guardians of the Galaxy now stays away from any of the major story arcs and just goes and does its own thing, what it's really good at doing. Nova issue 22. Nova takes the Jean Grey School students trick-or-treating. This issue came out a couple of days before Halloween. We actually got it on Halloween, so it was fitting. This was the first book I read this week. It was nice. You have Sam, who actually made a memorial statue for the Watcher who passed away. He gets his way back into school. How? You got to read the book to find out. The artwork, however, for me at least, is very sketchy. I'm not really into the... I really did not care too much for the artwork in this book. I'm not a fan. I really am not a fan of the artist for this book, but it's okay. So they go trick-or-treating. They perform a good deed. You want to know what that good deed is, you'll have to find out for yourself. And the night ends very well. And then you have, at the end of it, Sam getting called by the Avengers to go meet with, I believe it's Captain America. And that's how the book ends. And also we find out that Richard Rider, or Sam's father, actually not Richard Rider, Sam's father tries to reach out to Sam and his family, and it turns out that they've already been evicted from the house where Sam's father goes to, so he can't reach them, and he doesn't know where they've gone. So his one chance to send a message out to them is kind of... Good book. Again, it's one of those transition issues between one story to the other, but it was still a nice transition, I will say that. All New X-Men 33 just continues with the All New X-Men trapped in the Ultimate Universe. Jean is with Miles trying to figure out what to do. So she decides to go to the X-Mansion. They borrow Gank's car, or his mother's car, I should say, to go to the Xavier School. Iceman is fighting Mole Man. You got Beast versus Doctor Doom, which was the most boring part. You have Angel and X-23 meeting up with, oh wow, I forgot his name. James, with James, who's basically Wolverine's son. Really good dialogue between James and X-23 in this book. I really enjoyed that a lot. The X-23 and Angel were hoping to find Cyclops and the others. They figure out that they're not exactly in their dimension anymore. And Jean and Miles end up at the Xavier School. However, they're not alone. To be continued. There is somebody there. We do get to see that in the last page. That's a long and short of it. I don't know. The series is okay. I did not like the artwork for the Jean and Miles part. I kind of felt it was sketchy. But again, the story itself is pretty strong, pretty okay. There are some parts that are good, some parts that aren't. I really am enjoying the Iceman parts. X-23 and Angel's part I like. Beast is kind of like he tried to escape and he failed. Jean and Miles definitely holds this book right now. Really, really good.
What time is it?
I will check.
I think, because I could sum this up.
No, you can.
Okay. I could sum this up. Carnage issue #1, Axis.
I don't agree with your opinion on this.
Yeah, normally I don't say this about villains. This is my book of the week, and I will tell you why. Now, many of the people saying that Carnage is out of character, but there are villains who have turned over a new leaf, and Carnage in this
is not meant to do that.
No, he wants to actually become a superhero.
But that's not his character. That is very out of character.
It's not his character, but you have to understand. They're joining Magneto's team, and they're turning over a new leaf, and it's only a mini-series.
Makes no sense.
Which is, you know, that. I mean, I found it to be really interesting that he wants to be a superhero, and I mean, yeah, he does still kill people, and yes, he's still a psychopath, but he wants to learn how to punish criminals, but not do it in a way that's very violent, so to say. And he doesn't want that to happen. There's also somebody that the Sin Eater who appears in this issue, and that's gonna play something for this comic. And then it's just a whole thing where they're trying to look for Carnage after the whole thing happened. That Sin Eater takes in someone, but Carnage actually comes in, and I really like the artwork, though. I will say that much.
The artwork, I'll agree with you.
This is parental advisory, which says in the front, so this is not for kids. So I forgot to point that out in the beginning. And he goes to this woman just saying, when she fainted, just saying, "I want to be a great hero, and I need you to teach me how." Now that's what I like about this book. He wants to turn over a new leaf. It's just a mini-series. It doesn't mean that it's a really bad book. I really think it's interesting.
Well, I'm glad you're buying it, because I wouldn't have bought it.
I am going to buy the next one.
Well, you're buying anything, because I'm buying Spider-Verse. So.
Well, there you go.
Book of the week for me has to go to Fantastic Four issue #12 for several reasons. Spider-Man and
Johnny Storm.
Well, yeah, Johnny Storm. There's a moment. The very beginning of the book starts off with Spider-Man and I forgot this other guy's name. I'm trying to find his name and it's just not working at all. Okay, anyway, Spider-Man and this guy reach out to Johnny saying, you know, something's going on behind the scenes. Don't you see it? Don't you see all this stuff that's going on? Your family needs you right now, and you're boozing and partying when your family is in a great, dilemma. Ben's in jail, and he really didn't kill the puppet master. Reed is losing himself, Sue's losing herself, you know, something's going on. This wasn't an all coincidence. This was by, you know, somebody's pulling the strings for all this to happen. You get kicked out of the Baxter building, the portal opening. So it all kind of comes together, and Spidey helps things come together, and they talk about what's his name? Hawkeye from the last issue, which was from Franklin's imagination. I forgot the Marvel Heroes. Anyway, you got Johnny who meets up with Ben, and he tells Ben the story also, and Ben's kind of figuring out a way now to get out of the prison. What's the name ends up leaving? Valerie ends up leaving Doctor Doom behind to go to help her family, and it turns out Doctor Doom was just using her all along. He has this evil, sick, twisted plan, go figure. And then the last part of the book, because you don't get to see Sue in this issue, but the last part of this book, we find out who's behind everything that's going on with the Fantastic Four, and he actually confronts Reed, and he hates his guts. And that's why this person did what I will say it's a he, what he did to the Fantastic Four. And this guy has a lot of money, so he has a lot of pull. Man, oh man, this is the first Fantastic Four story that's held me since issue 1 and has kept me. Now we are in issue 12. Love having Spidey in the mix. A really good addition to this story arc right now. You got She-Hulk, and I forgot this other guy's name, looking to find out who is behind all this. But when all is said and done, the family's going to be hurt, but I have a feeling they'll come back together in the end, maybe. And once all is revealed, maybe they'll go back to the Baxter building. Things will go back to some type of a norm. Maybe. I don't know. But this was technically the destruction of the Fantastic Four. Hopefully, I mean, we did get to the point where Sue was talking about all this bad stuff happening. So maybe now we're moving forward past that moment. Really great. I love this book for many, many reasons. Many parts of the book. And with that, that's it for this review, guys. As always, don't forget to check out comic-related, Comic Frontline Zone 4 podcast, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Altogether, we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. Don't forget my live show this Friday. It is Dark Avenger Live, episode 40. We got some special stuff to open. We got a special guest. Hopefully, we'll have 2 special guests. And we got lots of stuff. And the big reveal of what the new live show will be called, and obviously the renumbered live show, what the new renumbered live show will be called, and where we'll be moving forward from the live show, what to expect, etc., etc. Feel free to check out the announcement video where you guys can share your thoughts with me. I did have a few questions for you guys. I did ask what you guys would like to see on the live show, so go check out the announcement video and please leave comments. And as always, feel free to comment any of the books you guys see in this review. And until next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we will see you guys really soon in the next review.
Bye, everybody.